Actually, at this Kabogo press conference, the Honorable Governor, His Excellency the Governor, told two lies. Two blatant lies. Number one, when asked whether he was amongst the Mount Kenya leaders who met Uhuru Kenyatta about a week ago before he left for the UK, he said no, he was not amongst those leaders. Lie number two, when asked by the press about this new image and whether he had hired a publicity consultant or a public relation consultant, he said he does not need any public relation consultant. In fact, he said, I don't know where you got that from. That was lie number two, because it's very obvious, and you can see in the photograph in front of your screens, this was the PR guy organizing everything at the event and appears to be the boss. Yeah, and obviously these guys were very busy organizing the setup and so on and so forth. Definitely it was the work of a PR company. Walking with his wife in, that is all the work of a PR company. Okay? Maybe at this juncture, before we move on to the meeting with the president, it is important to say something here. Now, this PR issue. Now, a lot of people are not familiar with public relations and what it does for a political candidate. Yeah? Public relations is very important because your image is important to the voters. It's just like if you're doing a business, the image of your business is very important to your customers. Yeah? If the image of your business is that your things are sold at a low price and they're good enough, and therefore you really assist because your prices are very low, lower than your competitors, and normally your quality is passable, because low quality normally people say is, low price people associate with the low quality. But if you have a product and your price is low and the quality is okay, customers normally flock in. Yeah, but they need that image. Now the interesting thing is, if you go down the road somewhere and you start increasing your prices, it'll take a long time before people notice, because people already have it in their minds that this guy has the lowest prices. Yeah, so that is image. Image is extremely important in politics because the image the voters have of you is what will dictate how they vote. I'll give you another example from Kenyan politics so that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Now, generally, Kenyan voters do not like weak candidates. They do not like cowards. Yeah? So, if you portray an image of being a strong candidate, yeah, strong in character, strong in making decisions, and most of all, you appear brave, very courageous, the voters will love you. But if you come across as hesitant, you're scared to state your opinion, you're scared to say something, that is how you get a poor image with voters, and voters tend to shun you. Yeah, they look at you as a weak candidate. Yeah, let me just give you an illustration of that. Governor Hassan Joho of Mombasa has come to national limelight because of only one thing. He has gotten the image of a very courageous person, and people love that. Same with Senator Johnston Muthama. He has gotten an image amongst the public as a very courageous person who doesn't fear anything. Voters love that. Okay? Now back to Kabogo. Kabogo, in my opinion, should ask for a refund from the public relations company or the publicity company he hired to assist him here. Because let's look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to change people's minds about Kabogo. Yeah. Now, one of the things, I'm not a PR expert. I've worked for international public relations companies, but I don't want to call myself an expert. Yeah. This is my opinion. If you want to portray a candidate in a certain way, the hardest and the impossible thing to do is to change people's minds. Yeah. Now, what instead you should do, you should focus on one trait of the candidate which people are already aware of, and then enhance it and show the positive side. Yeah, I don't know if you've gotten me there. Yeah, let me give a practical example. Let's say, for instance, candidate A has an image amongst the voters that is very slow in making decisions. Okay, as a PR company, instead of changing the minds, trying to do the impossible of changing the minds of voters, that this person normally takes a long time to make decisions, you cash in on that as an advantage. You portray him as is slow in making decisions because he carefully considers everything. And once he has made those decisions, the decisions tend to be positive. Yeah, so you shift attention away from the weakness and you turn the weakness into an advantage. Now, what Kabogo's PR people have done is that they're trying to change our minds about Kabogo. Possible? Impossible. And that should be obvious. Kabogo, a family man? Difficult to buy. Kabogo, a mature politician who's not controversial? Difficult to buy. Yeah, because you see, they slotted in his speech. He said that, oh, he has aged. The young Kabogo used to be very, very controversial, very quick. But the older he has matured like wine. Yeah. So what he was actually telling us in his speech is that between last week when he lost to Babayao, Ferdinand Waititu, and today, he has aged, 20 years between last week and this week, and that now is older and more mature? Go tell that to the birds. And I'll tell you something else. Voters can be very easily bored by a boring family person. This is not the US. I keep on telling guys, I don't know what's wrong with Kenyans. Yeah, Kenyans watch too many movies. Some of them have been to the States, and then they come here and then they imagine Kenya as the US. Oh gosh. Anyway, Kenya is not the US. Yeah, this thing of family values and being, having your wife close to you. Excuse me, ladies, I'm just being blunt and talking the truth. Those things don't get votes. People like an exciting candidate. Yeah, you will see, and I'm not going to give the examples here, but in the past we've had candidates who are very serious. What can I say? Playboys. Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, but this is a fact. Very serious playboys. And they excite the voters, and the voters get excited and they vote for them. Yeah. So I don't know what was happening here in this Kabogo press conference, but my opinion, as somebody who has worked briefly in PR, not an expert, is that this so-called PR campaign will fall flat on its face. It won't work because it's against human nature. It is trying to do the impossible. You can't change people's minds about somebody. What you do is you look for characteristic which already the public know, and then you enhance it in a different direction. Yeah? Anyway, on to the main point here, which was the meeting with the president. Governor Kabogo had a meeting with the president along with other Mount Kenya, what can I say? What was it or Mount Kenya, activists. You see, these are the same Mount Kenya people who are frustrating any effort by one William Ruto for his 2022 bid for the presidency. Yes, and these people mainly consisted, in this case, they were accompanied mainly by independent candidates. People who had failed in the Mchujo, people who had been voted out in the Jubilee primaries, and they were trying to say that this force, many of them prominent politicians, this group of prominent politicians who did not make it through the Jubilee primaries can actually make a very strong third force. You see, neither of the two main political parties, but a third force, which can be important for the campaign of the president and which can be able to meet some certain objectives, and therefore they wanted the support of the president to do 1, 2, 3. Now, one thing about the president, he has been very clear about one thing. He will not support any candidate. And I have to give it to him that he has stuck to his promise. Because he replied the same answer to them. He told them, look, I will not support any candidate. Go to the people. Once a decision has come from the people, then we can talk. Yeah? That means he's not going to give people an extra push to be able to make it and beat other opponents. He wants the people to make the choice, and then he'll take it from there. Yeah, that was basically his answer. So, I don't know. I assume that many of them were disappointed because whatever strategy they had, whatever they were trying to sell, did not quite fly with the president, yeah? So really, these guys are more or less on their own, including Bwana Kabogo. Well, not on their own because they're a group, they're assisting each other where they can. The rejects of the people, most of them claim they're rigged out. Even Kabogo, if you talk to him, he has said once or twice that the nominations were not free and fair. Yeah, despite the big difference in votes. In fact, he puts it this way. He says this was a plan to get him out of politics. Yeah, this was a well-orchestrated plan, engineered to push him out of siasa and push him into political oblivion. Yeah, that's his view. Okay. Anyway, that is the situation as it is. As for now, we should expect a very interesting election in Kiambu. Actually, it was going to be boring with only Waititu. That was going to be a clear sailing. But now with the reintroduction of Kabogo, it's going to be interesting. I'm not saying it's going to be close, but at least the campaigns are going to be interesting. We're going to have drama. Yeah, we'll have controversy. yeah, which is a good thing for Kiambu people. So Kiambu people, look at it on the bright side. You'll have plenty of entertainment going to the elections. Yeah, that's it. This is Chris Kumekucha. Till next time. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for giving me your time. Bye.